Welcome to Getting to Know You, residents and staff at Stonebridge. Today, in a quiet day before the Easter holiday, we are asking the housekeeping team to take a little time off and just sit quietly rather than being all over Stonebridge as you usually are. So James Roman and Juanita Figueroa are going to be here and tell us about themselves and what they do. But I invited a special guest. Brooke Swope is here with us, and she can tell us, I asked her to tell us all the kinds of things that housekeeping does that we don't really recognize as being housekeeping chores. And you're basically the one that calls them up and say, wait a minute, we need to do this. So I'm going to start with you, Brooke. What can you tell us about housekeeping and how you work with them?
Hi, well, good afternoon, everyone. As Ingrid said, housekeeping is a vital role of our community here. Not a day goes by, not even an hour goes by where we're not calling on housekeeping. We all may think of just setting up the chairs, breaking down the tables, getting trash cans, but housekeeping does so much more. Every time we have a new move-in, housekeeping is there to help with unloading boxes, recycling. Every time we have a move-out or a transition, they're also there to help out. They're also very crucial for our residents with moving furniture, helping our residents if they need help lifting things. So James and his team and we work together on a daily basis multiple times. And if you don't see them running around, it's because they're probably helping someone in the community and doing something behind the scenes. But they are crucial to me, and I'm very grateful for James and his team and Juanita. They work very hard to keep the programs and activities running here so that we can do other things and things of enjoyment for all of you. So thank you. I just wanted to give a little tidbit on how they help me in my department.
Thank you for joining us, Brooke.
Thank you.
You captured it very well. And we got them to sit down quietly.
Yes.
And not be running around the halls all the time. Friendly faces, but so thanks an awful lot. I'm going to just ask you to tell us a little something about what you do, how you got to Stonebridge, and then we're going to go over the list that I started of all the things I know that housekeeping does, because I at one point was had a brief time to see what was going on down there, because it's a very complicated situation, but I think one we should be proud of. And I also said to Brooke, one of the reasons why I was hoping we could interview you today is that I think you are actually an unknown element in us having been safe for a whole year. I think we don't appreciate how many times you wiped things down for us, kept track of important waste issues that we had to care about. And so I want to take this opportunity to thank you too for being part of the group that made it possible for us to not wear our masks for a few minutes. That we got to I would say we got to the point where we could all be vaccinated, that we were safe. So thank you for that. So James, I'm going to turn to you. I know that Stonebridge isn't your first experience with working with the CCRC, right?
That's correct.
So where did you come from?
So I came from Meadow Lakes in Hightstown, and there was an opportunity for me to transfer here to Stonebridge because I live 20 minutes away from the facility.
From here?
From Stonebridge.
Oh, good.
So I figure I've been in the field for 30 plus years, and it was time to take a job closer to home. And I decided that my personal life had to be important.
Right.
And so I took the job, and I'm so grateful to be here and part of a wonderful community. I feel that I work with family members, not residents.
Yeah.
That each person here could be part of my family.
Right.
And so a little bit about myself. So I've been in the cleaning business for over 30 years in a hospital setting. So
well, that's very specialized. So, yeah.
So in the hospital, I ran multiple departments: housekeeping, patient transport, and laundry. And what I liked about it most was that I was serving the patients, and I learned very quickly it was a people business. It was all about how can we make a difference with the people we serve.
Right.
And so I knew that that's what I enjoyed. It's like a nurse. You know, if you interview a nurse, just say why you became a nurse, and she'll say because you like working with people. So,
Well, it comes through.
so I also, what my enjoyment is, be able to accommodate what the residents need and keep them safe in this environment. So last year we had faced the pandemic, and it made us look on how we're going to improve and keep our residents safe. And so we looked at the operation, and we bought some tools, and we restructured the housekeepers to focus on like high touch areas. And the number one priority was making sure our residents were safe. And it continues to be that our number one priority.
Right, great. Well, you could tell that was the spirit in which you were doing this. We're going to get to some of the details. How about you, Juanita? Let's hear from you. How did you get to Stonebridge?
Yes, my name is Juanita Figueroa, and I came also from Meadow Lakes. I worked
Oh,
for
you
Meadow Lakes
did?
for 7
Okay,
years,
okay.
and I love the
Don't show
environment.
this
of
at
the-
Meadow Lake. You're really mad at us.
I enjoy working over there for 7 years. You know, we love our residents, and I did 3 years in a healthcare unit, and then I moved into a regular apartment. So it was a very nice experience. Then I got the opportunity to transfer to Stonebridge, and I love enjoy to work for them, and especially our residents. Residents first. And it's been a nice experience to be working at Stonebridge. I really enjoy work for the residents. And not moving the residents, the furniture, anything that can help for housekeeping. We're here for them.
So
Especially.
can you tell us a little bit about something where you came from and when you first started out?
I was a housekeeper at Meadow Lakes.
Okay.
Yes, and I got the opportunity, for the supervisor here,
Right.
and actually, James, Dr. James, and then I came to here, and then I was there for 7 years. It was very nice environment to work there, but I had the opportunity to transfer over here. So I've been enjoying working for all you guys, and I enjoy them every day.
Now, is there either one of you, do you supervise the housekeeping staff that we
Yes.
meet in our own apartments?
Yes.
Is that your responsibility or just?
Yeah.
It's both our
And both of us,
responsibility.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because just simply assigning all of the people and
Yes.
making sure they get there, I mean, I always think of it's just so amazing
I
that
usually,
it works.
yes,
Yeah.
we usually divide the building, so you would do this side or would do healthcare, but we work together with James.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the other place, the other way you must work together is that housekeeping isn't just for us residents. It's for assisted living.
Yes.
In fact, that's
SNF.
where I've met you and your team is so
I
helpful
remember
to
when your
families
husband was,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then skilled nursing.
Yes.
Which I learned with all the laundry and the special needs that people have there, that you have to list what rooms are what,
Yes.
and so
Yeah,
on.
all the laundry, the
So
personal.
that the two of you managed to make that all work
Yes, we
too,
work
right?
together as a team. Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah, and so everything is good so far. So yes, and that's what we're here for the residents. Residents first.
Skilled nursing is regulated by Department of Health.
Right.
So there's rules and regulations that we have to follow because of Department of Health.
Yeah.
So we have a process for almost everything that goes on in skilled nursing.
Right. Well, one of the things on my list was managing medical waste, which is a big responsibility. There are lots of rules for that and everything, right? And
Correct.
and that's
Yes.
all done in your department.
Right. So we have a process when a new resident comes into skilled nursing, we put them on quarantine and we separate their trash.
I see all of that.
So that what we want to do is make sure that we don't cross-contaminate from one residence to another.
Right.
So we put that process in place. And believe it or not, it's very, very expensive to process medical waste. Just to give you like
Because the rules that the
Yes.
government rules, yeah.
Yeah.
just to give you a perspective, so medical waste is like 28 cents a pound to process. Right, and regular waste is 3 cents a pound.
Okay, all right.
So having medical waste,
We have to
something,
keep records and everything,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you have to,
yeah.
yeah.
so we have, it's all documented, when they pick up, how much they pick up, and then what finally happens to the waste. So when the company picks up the waste, they have to send us a tracking form on what was the final designation of the medical waste. And then, when the EPA comes in, that's what they want to see, what?
All your records.
Where's our records?
Yeah.
What happened to the waste? When was it picked up?
Right.
You know, how was it treated? And show me the
Right.
documentation.
Yeah.
So I gotta say that Juanita, that's one of her specialties. You know, she learned pretty quickly during this whole process. You know, to who to call, when to get it picked up,
Watch out for Juanita.
what forms, what forms that we need to
Yeah,
have
no,
in
I don't
place.
mean to laugh
By
about
the
this
end
at
of
all.
the year,
It
you
is
need
very
to have
ser-
the
it is-
proof that,
It is very
yes.
serious. I mean, we know that, and we want it to be done right. And
Yes, the
we
right
hear
way.
stories where it's not done right and what
It's true.
happens, so.
Yes, so we
yeah.
just want to follow the right
So
way.
while we're
follow the
talking
rules.
about getting rid of stuff, can you say a little bit about our own trash? And I could see that there really is this recycling truck out there, and so all that needs to be sorted too, right?
Yeah, so recycling program has changed a few times.
Yeah.
So, most of the recycling,
Let's
they-
get this up close to
I'm
your
sorry.
mouth, that's okay.
most of the recycling goes into called single stream recycling. And so it may go into the compactor, and then when it gets to the transfer station, it goes on a conveyor belt,
Right.
and then it's separated at the transfer station.
Right, yeah, we don't separate the sort of the round boxes
Right.
from the plastic, right?
So yes, we do.
Oh, we do.
Yes,
Yes.
we do. When it gets to the
We have
loading dock,
both,
yes.
we have both options
Oh, okay,
downstairs.
all right,
So
okay,
if you go
Yes.
down to our loading dock, you'll see two separate containers where we put newspapers and cardboard boxes, and we have metal. We also recycle waste from the kitchen. You know,
Yeah,
the oil. We
right,
have barrels
right.
on the loading dock where the company will come and they'll empty out those barrels for the oil. So everything is sorted out on the
Right.
loading dock.
yeah.
And one thing we take pride of is the loading dock, keeping it, everybody honest on the
Yeah.
loading dock
Yeah.
and making sure.
Next to medical waste.
So I believe the loading dock tells a nice story. It says that if the loading dock is organized, clean, and neat, it tells us that the building is
Right.
nice and neat and organized.
Right, so when we have all these walkers going around here, they could make a little detour and check it out, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah. I guess with somebody's permission,
Well, they wouldn't have to go up close, but I know if you go another 50 feet in that direction, you could get a pretty good view
Yes.
of how clean it is.
Right.
And so that they could take a little look at that, so I'm trying to remember, did we cover all, we did the laundry, we talked about medical waste, and of course, you have to help everybody moving stuff around.
Yes.
And you're sort of always on the go.
Like we
But-
have to move residents from AL to SNF,
Yeah,
we
right.
should get in there, and then me and James, have to help them,
Yeah.
And we have a nice process for setups. Brooke and her team, they'll fill out a function form,
Right.
send it to us, and then we know a day or two in advance what kind of day we're gonna have.
Right.
You
So when we got our vaccination, the coffee was there and the cookies and so on, so we can thank you for seeing that they got there.
So what I like about Stonebridge is the synergy between all departments. there's no barriers. We all, you know,
Yeah.
if someone needs to jump in, you know, this team
Right.
rolls the sleeve and does what they have to do.
Right.
And what I like the most is we're all here for the same common goal. You know, how can we have a wonderful experience for our residents? You know, and you know, I meet with my team every morning. I do a daily huddle, and I tell them that they have an opportunity to make a difference every day. And sometimes, and depending where they're working, you know, the housekeepers, all of the residencies.
Yeah.
And so a little
Right.
dialogue between the housekeeper and the resident, you know, it goes a long way.
Right.
And so I've got numerous emails and calls about how wonderful the housekeeper was and how pleasant and
That's
you know
great.
how
Yeah.
engaging they were with some good conversation.
Yeah.
And one thing I also like, I learned a lot from the residents. You know, being here, you know.
We do, it's true, yes.
But you also
We don't hold back, right?
But no, you'll have wonderful stories that, you know,
Yes.
brings you,
Yeah.
brings you here.
Yeah.
And so
You have to watch our programs.
but you know, and sometimes when you have a new resident, it's like a little shocking, you know, they came
Yeah.
from a nice big home and
Yeah.
now it's downsizing. And so it could be a little overwhelming. And so so one thing myself and my team like to do is make them feel comfortable with the process.
Right.
So it's a daily
Yeah,
challenge.
that's a really important thing to know, and I think we're very grateful. But I have to say that it also takes expertise and experience that is focused to make things happen that have to work in everybody's interest. So that part of it, that you are dependable, that you know what you're doing with rules and regulations is really important. But then the other half of it, I have to say, people really do appreciate being valued and being listened to. So it really is a privilege for us to talk to you today and to wish you a nice spring weekend and the flowers that are here in the windows, and you had a little break in running around, right? Okay, and I'm going to give you each a little golden egg. So you can take that with you, okay? And we can say thank you. It's the least that we
Thank
can
you, it
do.
was a pleasure.
So it's
Thank you,
great to have
Mrs.
the
Grace. It was a
housekeeping
nice
team
opportunity
here.
to, yes, it was a
together.
pleasure.
We really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
thanks a lot, and thank you for joining us and listening to this wonderful story. I hope you learned a lot, and I know you already appreciate them. And stay tuned, we're going to have another good program for you coming up soon. Thanks a lot. Ingrid Reed, the host, Jock McFarland, our videographer. And thanks to Brooke Swope for being with us today as our special guest.